Hello fam, how we doing? Looks like we're live. Just let me know if you can hear me okay in the chat there. How's everyone doing? Just gonna make sure that we've got everything set up right. Hello, hello, hello. How's everyone doing today? David's like 6 p.m. What are you talking about? The Goldens. What are you talking about? Right then, shall we get on with this? Okay, so I've still got the ads playing, and everyone's like, "Yeah, audio and video's fine," so that's cool. Right, hey everyone. Does look like I've got a bit of a delay today. I don't know if that's going to be on the audio and stuff. As long as the audio and the video is working well together, and that's all good to me. How is everyone doing? Sanchit Garg, how you doing? Golden S, how you doing? Little Mountain Life, how you doing? Jason C, how you doing? Marcin Kowalczyk, he's here. Ted Berkwam, excellent. Evan Rogers is here. Where was our show yesterday? Well, I had to travel up to Manchester to take my company car back. So that's where I was. How is everyone today? I have got the camera over here. I'm looking at the screen that's over here. So bear with me a little bit. We've got a few bits that I'd like to just open some packages up before we actually get into the show proper. But I've done this, so I've actually set up a stream properly for once. This is quite exciting, isn't it? So I've got some packages that have come through from different people that want me to take a look at stuff. So while we're just waiting for people to arrive and things like that, we will be doing that. Come on, man, you haven't got YouTube Premium coming from Little Mountain Life. No, I don't at the minute. But sometime. Marcin Kowalczyk, will there be extra spots in the show, i.e. that Mac power-up that's never happened on stream before, way back because of stream problems? Maybe. We might do it. It is way up on the shelf there, and I haven't got cables and stuff ready for it. But, yeah, let's open some packages that have come through. So, this one, we'll do the ASMR thing with the sound coming through nicely, and I'll just bash against my mic. So, first thing, we've got the Charge Tree Swing Smarter Wireless Charging. Now, this has come through from some people, so pretty cool. I'm not going to open the actual boxes, I just want to show you what we've got to look at over the next few days. I've got some cool stuff. So this one does iPhone with MagSafe charging, I think, Apple Watch and AirPods wireless charging for everything on this. And I don't think you have to actually put your own chargers onto it, so that's kind of cool. So we've got that one. We've also got a squeaky chair. Got this big fella over here. Pop this bad boy open. I will come back to the chat questions, don't worry. So this, when we were doing the studio stuff, this got sent through by BenQ. They reached out on Twitter, I think, and asked if they could send me one of these screen bars. So we're going to put that on top of the display as well. So that's pretty cool. Don't open any package if it beeps or ticks. You could have told me earlier. Cool. So that's another one. Add to my list. And then we've got a couple of things. Because I know we're talking quite a bit about vintage stuff today. So we've got a couple of packages over here. I'm sure I'm ruining the audio by doing all of this stuff. Golden S, let's say you bought a Mac Pro with Apple Silicon maxed out. What will you do with it? Make videos on YouTube, pretty much. That's kind of what I do. So some of these packages have come from all over the place. Don't exactly know where. But this is well packaged. If I stab myself while I'm doing this, somebody call the emergency services, okay? This has got a lot of tape on it. This is like Apple Christmas for me. Wow. So we've got 21 of you guys watching. We've got 17 likes. Well, that's not a bad ratio. Right, I think we're in. So this has come from Grid. The guys who do the nice frames. Ooh, hello. Got a little "Every Classic Deserves to be Framed" little envelope with an actual wax seal on the back. We're going to wait and open that later. But inside here... Oh, they've actually gift wrapped it. Now that is an unboxing experience. These guys have done a good job here. Got another wax seal on it. This is one of those Apple deconstructed product frames where you get all the cool stuff inside it. I'm not going to open it right now, but there will be a video coming this week showing you what product is deconstructed inside it. And there is another box which has another Apple product frame inside it that came from a competitor. So we actually get to compare quality from different people that make these frames. So I think that's going to be kind of cool. Obviously today, this is our 10,000 subscriber live stream. Let's put away the gifts. Right. So what we've done is I have set up... In fact, I'm just going to close Twitter because Twitter doesn't need to be here. But if anyone's watching this and feels really generous and they would like to tweet out the show, feel free. Unfortunately, the t-shirt stuff, not finished yet. So those Memoji things will still be coming. If you haven't submitted your Memoji yet, you have a reprieve. You can actually do it still, and it will be the beginning of this week. So that is on the way still. Right, let's have a quick look at the live chat. Because I think it's important to know what you guys are saying. Congratulations on the 10k from Jason C. Thank you very much. I think we've done a few of these. No visible lag. That's awesome, because that never happens. Just got back from Smooth, says Yuri. Thank you. So, yeah, I think these guys are doing okay. Right, yeah, we are doing the tier list. We are doing the ultimate tier list of all the stuff that Apple has basically ever made. And again, for this particular video, for this 10k video, that's obviously very important to us all, I've actually set up some live streaming stuff so that it's actually all ready to go. And I think this is pretty cool. You can see that the tiers that we've set up, the top tier is obviously Jobs tier. Then you've got Ive tier, Federighi, Q, and obviously at the bottom, Forstall tier. So that would be anything skeuomorphic, anything else like that that's kind of sucks. So that's what we're doing here. Let me know what you think of my thing. Now, one of the issues that I have noticed here is that although I've got 120 product images here, because it made them all square, it's kind of difficult to see what some of them are. So that's not going to help out massively with actually doing this live stream. But what we've also got, and I will have another window on the go here, which I will have running alongside, is going to be this. And I'm going to grab up the timeline of Apple products. Cool. And actually, we will throw this into that window for a minute, and we can have a look at what we've got. So, this is kind of the product list that I've worked from for doing our tier list. So, we're going to start right at the beginning, and we're going to start with the Apple One. Golden S, Dave, what the hell's too many stuff, lol. Yeah, too many stuff. Absolutely. The drag and drop like Gadgetcast had on the iPhone 13 release. Yes, kind of. Grammar out the window there. Yeah. I'm glad you pointed that out before I got around to it. But yes, we're going to start right at the beginning. So 1976. Sorry, the Apple One. This is our first product. Can this be anything but top tier? This is Jobs, Wozniak, and basically all of their friends being recruited in a garage to put together a product. I don't think you can say that the Apple One is anything less than the top tier of all things. If we didn't have an Apple One, what would we have right now? Let me know in the comment section if you agree with me on this one. But I don't think it's possible to sort of say Apple One, no, that's not a high enough tier. And also, some of the Apple Ones came in some pretty epic boxes. So this is the one where people were like building their own cases for it. Because if you bought an Apple One, what you got was a board. No, that's it. You just got the board. It was pretty much for hobbyist computers. They were able to put their own stuff together, do what they wanted with it. But yeah, that is what we are doing. Apple One is top because it's the first, definitely. Yeah, I agree. I think that makes a lot of sense. So the Apple One definitely gets a top tier position. Now, after the Apple One, we kind of have to just go straight to the Apple II because nothing else happened in between. And the Apple One, originally, when Apple was making the Apple Ones, this was something that it was really created for hobbyists. I think by the time they got to the Apple II, this is when they started to sell them through local shops. And they were able to sell these things. But the guys at the shop that wanted to sell them wanted a fully boxed in computer with the keyboards, with a display and stuff like that. And I believe the Apple II started at $666, 66 cents. They definitely did one of them. Maybe that was the Apple One, actually. Let's double check that. Because I know that pricing was somewhere. Yes. Introductory price of the Apple One, $666.66, which is the equivalent of $3,032 last year. So, don't think it will have changed too much since then. But, yeah, so the Apple II, because it was a more produced system, this was $1,298. That's a great way to do a stream. Excuse me. Yeah, so $1,300, equivalent to $5,500 in 2020. It was introduced in May of 1979. It had a 1.023 megahertz processor. Megahertz. Audio cassette storage. Disc 2 Apple disk system. What have we got here in the chat about this one? Oh, just mentioning that I'm a little out of focus. I think that is my camera just being a little bit annoying, but let's see. Can we adjust that for you? Whoa, that's much worse. That's some crispy beard action right there. I think we're okay. However, that has also thrown off massively the ISO and stuff. There we go. That's better. Cool. Hopefully that's fixed the focus issue. Thank you, Chris. But yes, the Apple II, this is kind of one of those products as well that that just stayed around forever. Absolutely stayed around forever. And this was... When did they discontinue it? I've got to check that. Oh, discontinued May 1979. So 2 years for the initial version, but the Apple II was then succeeded by like a billion more versions of the Apple II. It wasn't really discontinued because it was followed by the Apple II Plus and then the Apple IIe. And these were being sold until 1993. Like that's a long ass lifespan for a computer to have. I think the Apple II in general has got to be fairly top tier. Do you think we need to go Jobs tier on this? Is it as good as the One? Is it as important in the history as the One? It's definitely at least Ive tier. I'm gonna say Ive, I think, for now. And then maybe we can revisit this. We need to go back to our timeline here. Now, I'd also put in like Disc 2 and stuff, but then I realised if I do every peripheral, this is going to take forever. And I didn't want to bore everyone. But the Disc 2, this is the old 5 1/4 inch floppies. I guess it was important at the time, but I think Q tier at best for this. Ted Berkwam owned the Apple II, Apple IIe, Apple IIc, all great, and owned all three. So this is all stuff that came out as well before the Macintosh, bear in mind. So I think this is pretty cool. So it's Jobs because it has expansion drives as first. Okay, Jobs tier. I think everyone's saying Jobs tier for Apple II. So I'm saying Apple II includes like Apple IIe, Apple IIc, all of that stuff. Does that make sense? Cool. Fine, it's Jobs tier. It's important. It's a really important thing to Apple's history. So that makes sense. I'm down with that. Right. Back to our timeline. What have we got next? Now, there's some interesting stuff here that we're not necessarily going to put into the tier system, but obviously with the Apple II Plus, Bell and Howell. Now, these guys were like, they basically made education versions of the Apple IIs, and they came in this kind of cool grey. I think this looks pretty awesome. Like, I would have gone for that colour over the beige all day long. But Apple's silent type, I think I put this in as well. So Apple, yes, Apple needs to be making printers, because I don't think anyone on the planet currently is making a printer that's good. No printers are good, have ever been good, have worked for more than like 2 cartridges worth of ink without breaking down horribly, jamming with paper. Apple, can you make a printer that works? That'd be awesome. So I think this has probably got to be like a Q level. I think it's pretty much backgroundy. But yeah. Anyone here that actually likes the printers, I'm gonna put it in Q level for now. I don't think it's quite Forstall level. Marcin, looks like a military terminal for launching nukes. I like that. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, some of these things do, like, and the reason is because most of the stuff that launches nukes is just that old. They never update this equipment because they know that it's secure. It's completely air-gapped because they didn't have networking in most cases back then. So, yeah, I think I see where you're coming from with that. Your printer works. It's built different, Golden S. How have you done this? Oh, and an old HP 1320N. Still metal. Wow. Very nice. Evan Rogers isn't like, right, let's move on. We need to get to the Lisa. Come on. We will get to the Lisa. Don't you worry. So, what do we have next on here? So we've got Apple Profile. Okay, that's the yeah, cool. Right. Okay, let's move on to Lisa then. If you're super excited about the Lisa, let's get that in. Is this Jobs tier as well, do you say? Lisa Forstall tier. Okay. Lisa is Forstall tier. Right, let's get back to our list. What does everyone else think about Lisa? Because I've got a Lisa t-shirt on the way now. I'm kind of disappointed in myself. Let's bring it up here. Now, am I right in thinking as well that Apple made a Mac XL that was kind of Lisa shaped? But basically had an expansion card so it could run Macintosh software too. I think it did. I think they did. And we must be coming to the Macintosh as well very soon. Because we've got Lisa coming out. We've got the Lisa 2, and then the Macintosh is next. So yeah, the Macintosh 128K. Now, can it be anything but Jobs tier? Slow Cuba is saying the Lisa made me sad. It was too expensive. Uncle Burr, hey, welcome to the fun. Evan Rogers, my mid-2000s HP printer is still going strong for me since the first day of college many years ago. Maybe it's a GOAT product. Maybe. Lisa is Ive, I'd say. Okay, so we've got some real differences of opinion over here. So we've got Ive level and Forstall level, they're very separate. And the two of them did not get on great. That's why as soon as Forstall left, Ive took over, and that's when we got our nice clean UIs on the iPhone. So, make your arguments, guys. Where are we going to put the Lisa? Right now, Lisa is in Forstall level, but tell me why it should be higher up. Lisa was cool, but maybe the worst failure in the company history and led to Jobs' departure. But Jobs wasn't that involved in the Lisa. Jobs was like fighting against the Lisa and pushing for the Macintosh by this point, right? The initial Macintosh could not be used for coding. You had to buy a Lisa to write programs for the Mac. At least that's what the reps told us. Okay. Split the difference and put it in the middle. Okay, Lisa, you can go Federici. I think Federici level. Let's do that. And then next up is definitely the Macintosh, right? We've got to go into the Macintosh next. So we're talking about the original Macintosh. Launch price way higher than they wanted it to be. So $2,500. I think Steve wanted it to be like $1,500. But they kept wanting it to do more and putting a faster processor in it. And then it became basically too expensive. It didn't do great when it first launched. But again, this is something else that kind of stayed around in the product lineup in various different forms for a very, very long time. And then they made a really ugly version of it too. Is there any way that the original Macintosh cannot be Jobs tier? You guys tell me. Let's have a quick look back over here. So I'm getting used to switching between different scenes, by the way. So we're talking in the chat now. Macintosh can't not be triple S. What does the triple S mean, by the way? Because I changed all of these because it didn't make any sense to me. Jobs tier, I think, is important. We need a tier above Jobs for the Grayscale Mac. Okay. Is that like a was tier? For now, it's going to have to go in Jobs because I haven't got another one. Okay. Straight up there. Whoop. She's a beaut. Not Jobs tier, it's a tier above. Yeah, I mean, it's got to be right up the top, right? Top tier. Cool. We're good. It's up there. Right. I will prove it to you. Look, there it is. There it is. Right there. Cool. I have got some of my vintagey bits over there as well. I thought I'd make a little display for you guys. I knew Marcin would be be excited. Right. What is next on my list? This is the joy of it, is I'm having to bounce between like 4 different websites and try and remember to switch views and stuff for you guys. Otherwise I just start chatting and you're like, I can't see what you're talking about. Cool. So, next one up that we've got, I think that I put in here might have been, is it the 3 Plus? No. Yes, maybe. So, we've got a couple of the kind of older style Macs that I think this might have been one of the 2Es or 2Cs or something like that. And I was just trying to kind of bring some more stuff in. I don't think they really did much with them after they'd gone past the original. This, I think, was the 3. How much do people like with the 3? The Apple 3. Didn't really do a lot, right? I think this is probably comes down to the Q level. I don't think it was a complete disaster. But we do have... here we go. No, in fact, we have to move this because I've just seen what was said about it. Let's pop it in there. So, the Apple III. According to Wozniak, the Apple III had 100% hardware failures. There was way too short a time frame in manufacturing and development. When the decision was made to announce, there were only 3 Apple IIIs in existence, and they were all wire-wrapped boards. So yeah, this is definitely going to be in that bottom end. Steve Jobs insisted on the idea of having no fan or air vents to make the computer run quietly, and Jobs would later push the same ideology on almost all Apple products he had control of, from the Lisa to the Macintosh 128 to the iMac. Yeah, he he made some mistakes there. There were definitely some mistakes made with the 3, right? So S is the top tier, or it should be, and then B, and then C, and then E, and then F. Cool. The 3 was a disaster. Peter Holman, did you have one of these things? Forestalled is too harsh for the 3, in my opinion. Like Woz has literally said here, every single one of them failed. 100% failure rate. If that's not forestall level, I don't know what is. The integrated circuits tended to wander out of their sockets. It has been rumoured that Apple advised customers to tilt the front of the Apple III 6 inches above the desk and then drop it to reseat the chips as a temporary solution. I'm going to say this is a failure. I'm going to say this is not a good one. Yeah. This one is, for me, comfortably a forestall level. Although I'm not sure if that's actually... I think it's this one. Let's put this one into. Boop, that'll do. Right then. Let's have a little look a little bit further down here. What else did I pull out of this little list? Because there's so much stuff going on at this point. And this is kind of the stuff that Apple kind of... This is where they were just throwing out all sorts of products left, right, and centre. We got our Macintosh XL. Yeah, this is the one that looks very much like Lisa. And was basically a Lisa with an extra card in it that allowed MacWorks XL to run. And 64K Macintosh emulation. Happy days. Cool. So what else did we come to down here? Oh, I started to have a look at some of the displays and stuff. So I think they're a little bit further back. Oh, this was the Macintosh extender. That's got to be kind of mid-tier as well, I guess. Somewhere here. Not great. So back to the chat really quickly. Yeah, so we've sent it to Forestall for the 3. That's all cool. Percussive Maintenance, Peter Holman. Very good name for it. I like that. I used the 3 once. It absolutely sucks, says Evan. Yeah, I feel like you had to wiggle the Apple III and it would reboot. So, Marcin, why were you telling me that we couldn't put that into the bottom tier? Come on. Come on. Still waiting on Apple to solve the MagSafe debacle on my iPhone 13 Pro, by the way. What MagSafe debacle? Please tell, Marcin. I don't know about this issue. Right, back to my tier list. Whoop. Get out of the way. So, what have we got? What have we got next? I think... Oh, yeah. Apple IIe Platinum. Yeah, there's so many of these. Macintosh Plus Platinum. I was going through these trying to work out what the actual difference was. And I know there are differences, but they're not massive, basically. We come back to some more, like, different printers. This one, I think, was actually quite interesting, the Laser Writer, because this was actually a laser printer, and it was one of the first that you could actually buy, that people could buy. I think that was kind of interesting. But at the same time, it was also $7,000 for a printer, $16,800 in 2020. So if I did put that into my tier list, which I've got a feeling I might have done, that probably needs to go fairly low down, as I'm guessing it probably broke a lot. In fact, we've got a bunch of printers here. We'll just put printers at the bottom because printers generally suck. And let's just... Oh, there it is. There's the Laser Writer. Okay, quickly back to the chat. It's all about the chat, this, to be fair. So, what have we got? Apple Color Monitor. Have I got an image of that, Evan, that you can see? Because I did go through this earlier and try and put everything together. Cannot find it anywhere here. But we did get some kind of crazy stuff. You know, we've got the Apple CD coming up and things like that. Stuff that you might not be aware of. This might be it. Although I think that's a bit more recent. Apple's entry into printers was magnificent. Its exit was too long coming. Oh, did they? They just kind of hung out. I think they had HP make most of the printers for them, right? They rebadged them, kind of like Samsung does now. Marcin Kowalczyk, my iPhone 13 since 15.2 doesn't work with MagSafe chargers at all. Normal Qi chargers work every single time. That's really odd. Okay, I wasn't aware of that, but I'll have a look and see if there's anything else, if anyone else is having that issue. I should save the image once it's done and make some artwork, thumbnail, or shirt out of it. I guess we could do that. I'd probably want some better images, because all these black ones in the middle, these are all the phones, and it's going to be impossible to tell what's what. So we're just going to make that up. Stupid thing that makes them all square. If I'd known before, I would have given them all like a square background to drop them into, but there we go. So let's get back to our little listy here. Timeline stuff, what do we got? Apple Color, RGB monitors, yep. Obviously, all of this stuff now that we're getting into is very much after Steve left. Steve left Apple in... 72 to 1985. He was at Apple from 76 to 85. Left in 85. That's when he went to set up Next and did the Pixar stuff, and then he came back in 97. So you can actually see a real clear difference. So we're getting into Apple where they were just kind of throwing ideas at the wall here, kind of making a bit of everything. This is kind of Apple's dark years that we're into. So, honestly, I think I was going through this going, I don't think there's anything interesting to actually talk about here, but let's have a quick look at all the older looking stuff that we've got here. So this, Evan, was this one of the color monitors? I put it in Federighi just for a moment, but let's have a quick look. Color monitor 2C. Oh no, they were just a bit weird. Yeah, so that was the third generation, the Apple Audio Vision 14 display. So I think we come to that a little bit further down here. Let's move down a bit. So Macintosh Platinum Plus, blah blah blah. First Apple CD drives, laser writer, we did all that. Right, cool. Let's come down here. So, Apple 2-page monochrome monitor? What is this? Might have been this one. Cool. So we had the star writer, we had laser writers. Ah, this is where we started to get into the weird stuff like quadras. Okay. Right, so we've got quadras, we've got, I think this was the quadra. And pretty much all of the Macs that were coming out at this sort of time were pretty pants, I feel. So the quadra is the 900 that I picked out purely so that we got, look at that beauty. Look at that right there, it's just an absolute beast of a machine, isn't it? So we had the Quadra and the Centris, and they were basically interchangeable, and they didn't really perform. This is also when they had the Performers come out, which I think is a hilarious name for computers that didn't really do a great deal. Did anyone here used to use Quadras and Performers and stuff? This is all way before my time. I never had any of the Motorola stuff. The only one, in fact, it would be my Macintosh SE that's up there above me. So this was System 7.0.1 up to Mac 8.1. So this is like the same time that Apple had all the clone systems coming out from other producers. So I feel like, yeah, that's not going to be high, is it? That's going to be... Did anyone use the Quadras? The Quadra does look like a PC. Yeah, they were just doing the beige boxes and trying to make them as cheap as they could. Apple Take Backup was the Time Machine OG. Yeah, I think you're right there. Michael Moy, having a quick look. Megan, you had a performer. Tell us about it. Are they good? Was it good at the time? Did you love it? I think this was one of the performers. I wish I'd labelled these things. I think this was a performer. Is it good? Megan, you get to choose where is this going to go. Q level? Ted says Q. Cool. That can go in there. We have got some of the PowerBooks started appearing as well around here. I'm just trying to hope that we can get them in the right order. Macintosh TV as well. That's one of the other things that we had. Macintosh Portable. Was this? This is a beauty, isn't it? This was like the first laptops, kind of. I mean, it doesn't look that portable. arcavedave.com/merch. 5 watts of power. I don't think I'd even got this one in there, but Megan, I think we paid $3K at Sears for the monitor, computer, and insurance plan. Agree with Q. Eddie Q. Eddie Q level. Cool. Cool. I think we're happy there. I think pretty much everything from that period is going to go into kind of Q Forstall territory. And also, I'm not trying to diss on Eddie Q, but he's not as cool as Craig Federighi. Very few people are as cool as Johnny Ive, and Steve Jobs is just Steve Jobs. Forstall, yeah, I'm shitting on him. Right, you can go out there. This is another old one. I would say, even though some of these computers were like pretty old and pretty PC-ish, they made them look kind of good. Like, there definitely was that industrial design aesthetic going on. Yeah, see the Quadra, like, it's just not... It's not a pretty thing, is it? But it looks intentional. The Macintosh Color Classic, this is one that we've got that we have to talk about, I'm afraid. So the Color Classic, let's see. So this one, they obviously wanted to make the Macintosh again. But, like, they made it a bit curly at the bottom and a bit meh. Was this any good? Did anyone play with one of these? Evan Rogers, Mac Portable, Ives tier. Yeah, I didn't actually include it. I forgot. I missed it when I was going through the list, so I don't have a picture of it. But it's good to chat about. Marcin Kowalczyk, my first mobile also wasn't particularly portable. It's true. They were pretty chunky back then. Had a Performer 475, but struggled to get the software. Slow Cuba used. I used software emulation to get 80 columns on it. What on? PrePower PC Max. Okay, cool. Yeah. So I think this is fairly sucky. Had a Trinitron display inside, 512 by 384 pixels. And this was, when are we looking at here? 1995, it was discontinued. I mean, so this sat under the Performer category, apparently. But yeah, they're just so weird. All of these computers are so odd. And not in a necessarily great way. But look how many, like this is 1993, we had the StyleWriter 2, the Apple Color Printer, the LaserWriter Pro 600, and the 630, the Performer 250, the Macintosh LC 3 and 3 Plus, the Color Classic, the Centris 610, the Centris 650, the Quadra 800, the PowerBook 165C, the LaserWriter Select 300. It's like reading through a Dell catalog. Look, we're still going. This is all still 1993. This is when Apple was suffering its most. There was just so much stuff happening, and none of it was great. And I just did all of that without showing you the right screen. But like, this is all 1993 products. We have got some interesting stuff in here. We have got we've got the PowerBooks, the first PowerBooks. I think they were quite interesting. So let's have a quick look. I think the first ones were these guys. And they looked kind of cool, so I'm gonna Federighi these guys. And then we get up to the ones like your Pismos and stuff. Once Steve comes back, I think that's when we got the Wall Streets and the Pismos and all that kind of stuff that did get a bit cooler. We also have in this little section here the Newton message pad. That's going up in I think that's going to go in Hive tier. The Newton message pad. This is the first one. It wasn't perfect. It doesn't deserve Jobs tier. But it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool and pretty ahead of its time. Like, these Newtons had they had basically Scribble that we have now on iPads. They had that handwriting recognition, and I think they're pretty awesome for that. What is the live chat saying? Let's have a quick look. Color goes in Q. Yeah, Nitrox 128 megabytes of RAM, and the Performer was £125 back in the day. The Newton was revolutionary. Yes, it was. And I've got my Newton right here as well. It's the ebook, the eMate, sorry. Which is pretty cool. Still got the fun handwriting stuff. Yeah, Newton was is first for sure. So yeah, this is, you can definitely see the heritage that goes from this to the iBook G3s. Like a little bit of transparent plastic going on, a little bit of curvy lines. Whoop. Bring it over here so you can actually see it. There we go. I think these are pretty cool little pieces of kit. And I really enjoyed playing with this, especially for the price I paid. So, I think the eMate 300. This is the. I think that goes in the Ive category too. So let's bang that up there, and then let's just see what else looks super old that we need to move around. So we've got another Performer type thing here, or a Quadra, or it could actually be one of the late, like the very early G3s, but I'm not convinced. Cool. We are getting through these guys. It's not as bad as I thought. I thought we would have been here for many hours. This is okay. So let's get our tiers back up there, and live chat. What are you saying? Evan Rogers hated the Newton. What is going on with you? But it was still a break. Yeah, see, this is the thing. I understand where you're coming from, Evan. It did suck and almost helped to bankrupt Apple. But it wasn't because the Newton wasn't good. It was because the market potentially wasn't ready for it. The technology that they put into these things, absolutely stunning. And evidenced by the fact that they brought Scribble to the iPad just, 2 years ago? And a lot of the same stuff. Like, it's the same gestures, and the way that it goes from handwriting to text is very similar. So, yeah. Mid seems about right for the Newton. It was a bit far ahead of its time, which makes it awesome and less useful at the same time. Yeah, that's it. Like, they were doing really cool stuff, but again, oh, okay, you'd think Q product for eMate? I'm gonna say I'll meet you at Federighi. I'm not going to queue for that. Yes, you do, Marcin. You do see the Bandai Pippin, and I don't think we're far away from that. We are at Power CD though. We need to do this right. Power CD. Where are you? Look at this beauty. If I get the right list on again. Right. Apple Power CD. What do we think of this fella? I'm going to stick it in Federighi for now, and then we're going to go talk about it. Because this is kind of... I think this was kind of cool. This looks a bit like a PlayStation to me. With the Newton, marketing got too far ahead, drove the schedule instead of the tech readiness. That's fair. So yeah, let's talk about the Apple Power CD with remote control and also the Apple Design powered speakers. And this is something that I didn't know before, but Apple Design, as in all one word with a capitalized D for design, Apple Design, as if they were kind of creating a new brand within. I think this was kind of their first foray into real consumer stuff. But again, this is like 93. This is pretty much around the time where they were throwing out stuff left, right, and centre. They were throwing out products all over the place just to see what sticks. This is like, is this Gil Emilio's time as Apple CEO, I think, before Steve came back and took over. So, some really weird stuff came out around this time. The other thing that came out at a similar time to this would be, oh hi, would be the Apple QuickTake camera. So I think this also has to go kind of somewhere in the middle. Oh, attacked by children. Apple QuickTake camera. Anyone have a chance to try one of those or the CD thing? Let's have a quick look. Traveling to the future at the moment. iPod OG to the Jobs tier. Okay, we're not coming to iPods just yet. You have to wait until Jobs comes back before we do that. There's a timeline here, guys. Evan Rogers, Q because it's a rebrand. Oh, the Apple, is that the CD or the QuickTake camera? I think that was an HP one, right? Let me know. Let's come back up. So I've got them in Federici at the minute. We think there should be Q? Do we have an agreement there from the family? Let me know. I'll pop it there for now, and then you can let me know if I need to move that again. CD is Q. How about QuickTake? QuickTake cameras. Let's find out a little bit about that one. So who made it? Oh, rebadged Philips product. This Philips CDF100. Fair enough. Where was QuickTake camera? Here we go. I know there was a few different versions of this. One of the first consumer digital camera lines. So I feel like if Apple actually kind of pioneered the digital camera, should this be a bit higher up? My middle school had some, never got to use them, but they were cool at the time. Had a pair of Apple design speakers, they were quite good. Unfortunately, they were stolen when on holiday. Oh, that's sad. I think Q is too harsh, so it can go there. Q isn't too harsh. Okay. Let's have a quick look. Did people actually think it was good? I know it was early, but was it any good? So we had a 640 by 480 resolution, and it could store 8 of them. 8 cameras, 8 photos, or 32 320 by 240 images. Oh my god. But 24-bit color. People get excited about 10-bit now in a camera. Incredible. But I think the camera thing is quite cool, actually. I think that might need to go up maybe to IVE level. Do we think IVE is good? FG tier. What's FG? Did we have IVE for the QuickTake? That seems pretty fair. Revolutionary at the time. Yep, okay. I think that's fair. I think we can go IVE. Boom. These, if you notice, the IVE level stuff is the stuff that we're like, yeah, these are really cool. The iPhone is the grandchild of the Newton and the QuickTape. Slow Cuba. I think you're right. I think the iPhone and the iPad and stuff, grandkids of most of the stuff that Apple's done, and the iPod. Should be I've not Jobs. QuickTake camera is Jobs tier, says Uncle Burr. I think I'm happy with Ive. I think the early stuff to actually get to Ive level when Jobs wasn't even at the company, I think that's pretty good going. I'm down with this. Right, what's next? Let's get some more cool stuff. Macintosh TV. Now, this is still an awful old Macintosh, but is this a cool product? So this was like an all-in-one. What was it? It's a Quadra? I can't tell anymore what any of these things are. A Performer 520 with a 14-inch Sony Trinitron TV that could basically switch to being a TV as well. So it's capable of showing television in a desktop window, and it's incapable of showing television in a desktop window, but it can capture still frames to picked files. Is this cool? What do we think? This had a 32 megahertz Motorola processor, 5 megabytes of RAM. Ooh. A CD-ROM built in. Do we like this? This was kind of like a 14-inch TV with a computer built in, basically. Do we like it? I don't think we do. I feel like this is another, like, cool idea. Terrible execution. TV Mac doesn't make the cut for Ive. I'd say FG or lower. Is FG Frederigi? Is that what you're saying? I think that's what you're saying. I feel this is kind of Q-ish. I don't feel like it was a good execution. I'd be happy to put this a bit lower down. However, we're coming to some fun stuff soon. And I can't find where my picture of it has gone. It's all going well. Here it is. Here's the fella. Q? Yeah, Q. No, I can't do TV and computer simultaneously. Yeah, I know, that's the thing. It needs to have been better than that, I think. FG, Q. Yeah, I think Q is... I'm quite happy with that for Q. Right. What is next? Interesting stuff. So we had the PowerBook Duos. I think this is one I picked up, maybe. We've definitely got some PowerBooks going on in here. So let's have a quick look at those. I think it may be this one. And what were the PowerBooks like in the early days? I'm going to drop it in Federighi just so, while we talk about it. But I think it was one of these ones. Let's go for that. Yeah. Were they any good? The PowerBook Duos replaced by the PowerBook 2400. Who had these bad boys? You can do TV and computer, just put Netflix on a Mac. I don't think that the Macintosh TV was capable of Netflix. I could be wrong. The Duo line offered an ultra-portable design. So this was basically the forerunner to the MacBook Air, I guess? Were the Duos, like, super small? It's like a 12-inch. I mean, it's not going to be 12 inches. Look at that display. It's about 400 yards in from the middle of the... Talk about bezels nowadays, guys, right? That's some bezels right there. Check out those bad boys. Right. Let's not complain about our bezels anymore. Laptops in general were terrible before the 2000s. Okay, we'll just chuck it down the bottom. That's fine by me. So all the old ones, you can go down the bottom. You can be a forestall. Sorry, dude. And you. PowerBooks running on Tiger were decent. Yeah, but they were like Power PCs, right? So those were a little bit later on. I think we're cool with that. Okay. Back to our timeline. So now we're into 94. Again, like I was starting to just skip through years here, but we had a quick take and we had our Pippin. Pippin is important. So, the Apple Bandai Pippin. This did not do well. But, is it cool? Here we go, right. Slow Cuba coming in hot. Lol, no, you couldn't be wrong. Apple Television doesn't seem to me to be as good as what you could get around the same time with a TV receiver card and a Windows PC. Yeah, I think you're probably right. I think it's pretty crap. So, in May 2006, the Pippin placed 22nd in BBC World's list of the 25 worst tech products of all time. So I'm going to say it didn't do great. Bandai manufactured less than 100,000 Pippins, but reportedly sold 42,000 systems before discontinuing the line. Production of the system was so limited, there were more keyboard and modem accessories than actual systems. Oh god, that's not great, is it? Here we go, we've got a list of what you could get for it, all the software and everything. Pippin still sells for 2k on eBay. Yeah, it's become cool since then. Evan Rogers Ives. You want to put this up in Ives territory. Do you think it's that good? So, we had Atcard SD Gundam Gaiden. We had Action Designer. Because this wasn't designed to necessarily be a games console, but like a lounge computer, from what I understand. Yes, it did games, but it did other stuff as well. There's literally none of these games that actually ring any bells. Home Improvement 1, 2, and 3, you know, which is apparently non-game, unreleased. Like, there's so much of the stuff on here that just says, like, yeah, they made it, but nobody ever sold it. Unbelievable. Unreleased, unreleased, unreleased. It's not great. Some of these things didn't get released anywhere. Movieoki, for example. Digitoy Entertainment. Yeah, this is not a good product. Do we have to put it high up? Do we think that if Apple actually brings out a games console, they're going to call it the Pippin since they're being super retro right now? Is that a thing that they're going to do? I don't think we can, in good faith, put the Pippin quite high up. I think Federighi at best for a good attempt, but absolute failure. What do we think? Can't be Ive tier. I think we could settle for Federighi. Next, let's move on. Thank you to the people sticking with us. Multimedia was the buzzword. Multimedia was such a buzzword. Right, let's get back to the screens. So, I don't think there was anything here that made me interested enough to pull it out. Let's have a quick look through. No, just a bajillion performers and power Macintoshes that didn't really mean anything. And this was actually Steve's issue when he came back, was that there's barely anything there that he was actually interested in. Now, we've already put the eMate 300 in, but it didn't actually come out until 97. But I know we've already kind of covered this, but yeah, 85% size keyboard, rechargeable batteries, which lasted 28 hours because it was ARM-based, I think. Did this have an ARM processor? I think it did. Yeah, it had an ARM 710A at 25 megahertz. And even back then, ARM processors were like super power efficient. But yeah, we've already done the eMate. But the TAM, the 20th anniversary Mac. How cool is this? eMate, 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 says Evan. Yeah, we've already put the eMate in. We put it at Federighi level. It only lasted for a little while. You think Ives for the eMate? Fine. I really like it. I love my E-Mate. It's a nice little thing. My one cost me £15. So pleased. It was an absolute bargain. But yeah, the TAM. Let's talk about the TAM. Now this thing, bearing in mind this came out in 1997, LCD flat panel display, Bose subwoofer, leather trackpad that pops out from the palm rest, very nice speakers, big CD drive in the front, flappy loading, FG I think for the TAM. So we're talking like Federighi. Okay, I would say yeah. I'm with Uncle Buh. I'm like at least Ive level. I think this was a beautiful thing. And again, it's not something that is great as a standalone product, but as a technology demonstration and a design aesthetic demonstration, it looks like if you were looking at this in 1997, that is what the future looks like, right? I think this has got to be at least Ive. Again, I know it wasn't a particularly great product, but this is a thing of beauty. I'm not hearing anything below Ive for that. That is definitely an Ive level. Johnny, where have you gone? There we are. And I think the reason that it's that it becomes Ive level is because design beautiful, not necessarily that practical. Like Ive's generation of MacBook Pros, I guess. Sorry, Johnny. But I'm a massive fan of Johnny Ive's design work. Absolutely. I think he's superb. The TAM had a cameo in Batman Returns. Very good, Uncle Buh. Cool. Yeah, so Blade Runner. It is. It's cool. It's a really cool design aesthetic. I love it. Cool. I would love to have one of these. And now you can see what happens here. We actually get into the point where Steve gets back. So we've got the PowerBook G3. This is pre-job still. So this is like the Pismo in the picture. But let's see. Macintosh PowerBook G3 Kanga. So Apple was moving over to the PowerPC chips before Steve got there. So the Kanga was this thing. We haven't even got a picture of the Kanga. But I think once we got into the Power Macintosh stuff, things started to pick up a little bit. So, I think this... I'm not even sure which one that one was now. Oop. This is great. I'm sitting doing a live stream and my stand goal has just been achieved. Well done, me. So yeah, we're talking in general as well here about the Power Macintosh line, and I think the PowerBook G3 series was pretty good. I think there was nothing in particular wrong with these. So we had the Pismo, we had the Wall Street 2. These were kind of Johnny Ive's first attempts at kind of serious looking laptops. Johnny was definitely involved in the design of these. He was already working at Apple when Steve came back. So I'm happy with those being in a reasonable spot. Let's have a quick look. I think I already put them in, but I think that's the one. And I think we'll probably put that somewhere in the middle, because they weren't great at the time, but they weren't too bad. Peter Holman, I have a Lombard. I would say Federici works well, but not really revolutionary. Cool. Bronze keyboard, Ive for sure. Oh, okay. Which one was the bronze keyboard one? I need to check that now. Was that that was the Pismo? Oh yeah. Oh, and it's the clear plastic as well, isn't it? Yeah, it's definitely got that Johnny Ive feel to it. I like it. I'm gonna keep an eye out for some of these coming up on eBay that are maybe a bit broken, because I don't mind that display pieces. But we're getting into the fun stuff now, because 1997 is when Steve returned to Apple. Look at how little was actually made in 1998, and this is all very much on purpose. Steve stripped out all of the crap that was being put out, and this is when we started to get towards Steve Jobs with his 4 quadrants design for getting the company back on track, basically stripping out all the stuff that they didn't need anymore. So we had the Power Macintosh G3. I have one of these. I have the Power Mac G3 upstairs. I think it's ace. I bought it at a car boot sale, and I think I paid £10. And I plugged it in, and it works, and all of the animations are smooth. It runs Tiger. The dock is like smooth up and down, and I'm sorry, but it's going up there. I'm not even having an argument with anyone about this. It's going up in the Ives level. Sharon B, hi, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. So yeah, we're definitely getting back into some good products in the Mac line right now. So we also have the Apple Studio display. So this is the first one. This is not the one that they're showing on the screen where you roll over it. But the first Apple Studio display, I believe, was this one. And again, I think this looks really cool. And it matches. I will just jump into... In fact, let's do it on Steve's one. Apple Studio display 15, because this basically fit in with Apple's design aesthetic at the time. You'd got the plasticky, iMac G3 kind of feel to it. But I think these are kind of cool. Flat panels, pretty awesome. The G3, the G3 is a big change, and in general, to be honest, here we are talking about Apple's Studio displays in general. We're not talking specifically about this model, but I mean, look at this thing. That's cool. Like, that's a forerunner to the Pro Display XDRs. That, in terms of the way that it's laid out, it's early iMac almost. So I think this has got to be like, it's Ive again. It's beautiful design. It might not be the bestest thing ever, but it might not be the most practical, but I think it looks awesome. And I really like what they did with the Studio displays afterwards as well, with these easel style ones. This was sort of your G4 kind of generation. These matched up with your G4 cubes and stuff like that. So I think these are cool. I think these are going up in the Ive segment. So that's up in Ive. Next up, we got our iMac G3. The iMac G3. How iconic of a product can we have? Like, what is the most iconic Apple product still to this day? This is Jobs. It's Jobs tier. Marcin, the display has gone Ive. Don't you worry about it. So let's jump back over to the chat. I need to confer with my people. But yeah, the G3 game changer, absolutely. iMac G3 Jobs plus plus. Yeah, it's the spiritual successor to the Macintosh, the original Macintosh. It's all in one. It looks friendly. It's got an awesome look to it. Marcin, we will come to the G4 Cube. Don't you worry. In fact, no, I haven't got a picture of it. Unbelievable. Because it wasn't a product line as such. It was a one-off. But, yeah, it's awesome. iMac G3 Jobs level, 100%. There's no questions here. And while we're at it, the iBook G3 as well. You're coming up to the Jobs tier. That's important. The iBook G3, this is actually probably a more important product in the world. Because this bad boy... People were not used to wireless at this point. When Steve was out on the stage and telling everyone that it was connected to the internet and he wasn't plugged into anything, people were very confused. Like, they were losing their minds. And that's why we had to have Airport and we had to have all the other stuff But these, oh, look at this. It's got a carrying handle. So you could carry it around like a purse if you're in Sex and the City and stuff. Like, is that not a cool thing? Tell me that a new MacBook Air that's inspired by this thing isn't going to be awesome. Yeah, that's jobs tier. 100% jobs tier. Basically, now that we're getting into this modern Apple stuff, from Jobs coming back, this is when things started to work again. It just is. So, that's all good. What else did we have from this period? We had our iMac G3, we had our iBooks, we started to get Airport coming into things. Now, I've only put in the Airport Express, but Airport in general, I think in its day, was fabulous. That's going to be at least Federici level. It wasn't exciting, but it was easy to be able to go. Yeah, so the iBook's up there. We're all happy with that. Everyone's good. What are we on to next? Because we start to get exciting now, and then we have to do all the iPhones and stuff. Cinema displays. So, again, we had the studio displays. We've also got cinema displays, and they went from, again, being they're basically the widescreen version of the studio displays. They were really, really good displays. I think everyone loves the cinema displays. The was it the 30-inch one that was like the first thing to have 2560 by 1400, and you had to have 2 DVI ports to be able to do it. So I think that's a pretty awesome one. I thought I had a picture of them down here, but apparently I do not. Then we're also getting into G4 generation Mac. So we had the Power Mac G4, the Graphite. There was 3 different versions of the Power Mac G4. You got the Mirador drive, you got the Quicksilver, which was the digital audio one, I think, and then the Graphite was like the base level one. I'm not sure which one I have up in the loft, but again, like, this one was less exciting. They were great products, and they were very powerful, but they weren't as revolutionary as like our top tier stuff here, I feel. G4 Cube, right, hang on, we need to just address something here. Evan. Evan, this is not Q. This is not... This isn't Eddie Q level. This is GOAT. This is full Jobs. Don't make me ban you from the channel, Evan. No, it's not cool. But in case any of you haven't seen one of these things in action, this is how you dismantle it. And yes, it's fully intact and it works and it's great. And I can't remember how much RAM I put in it, but every slot is filled. Not quite sure. But yeah, it's one of my favourite computers of all time. And Evan, I will hear nothing other than Jobs level for this. And we can put it away. And I put it backwards, but you know, we're gonna have to deal with that. And I haven't got a picture of it to go into Jobs level anyway, but that's where it's living. So just to be clear, it ain't moving. Right, back to the list. We're into the G4 segment now. So let's do G4 iMac. This is again just godlike levels of design. It's a minimum of an Ive, right? Minimum of an Ive. Martin, I can't power it on. I haven't got the power supply here. That's packed away. But yeah, it does all work, and I haven't got a display for it and stuff like that. So not down here anyway. We will do some more vintage stuff, I promise you. Yeah. So iMac G4. This has got to be like minimum of Ive. Does it make it all the way up to Jobs tier? Who said it's a pretty box? Evan, get in the bin. I think Sunflower iMac is probably Jobs tier. It fits with the, yeah, Pixar is exactly what I was about to say, Martin. Just as I was about to say that, that's what came up. Yeah, it's just a thing of beauty. Now, they also made the eMac, which I have a couple of. And I think I'm happy for this to go in like Federighi, because, again, not exciting. This was reusing the old CRTs, but very flat CRTs, especially compared to the iMac, and a bit bigger. I think they were 17 inches. Nice bit of kit. Nothing wrong with it. But, yeah, that can go Federighi level. There wasn't anything crazy about it. G4 iMac is I've, Ted. I can see where you're coming from. I think it's better. I think that's Steve tier. So that's where I'm going to put it. I get to do that. Yeah, the eMac is going in Federighi. I think that's fine. What else have we got here? Let's have a quick look. Oh, I guess one of the other things that came out a little bit later, but still. Oh, we got these ones. This is the iBook G4. And the iBook G4 was the first one that kind of gave you that feel of where Apple was going to go with the Intel stuff. So I think we're going to put that Ive level. It was the first polycarbonate laptop, and it got that kind of white Steve aesthetic going on. I think we like that one. I think that's good. Ive level. Let me know if you argue with me on Ive level for the iBook G4. Is it one of my packages beeping? No, it's not. It's my son's glucose monitor. But I could hear that my wife's picked it up, so thank you for the heads up. No, I'm not about to explode. Right, what else have we got here? Let's jump back to our timeline, because there's a lot less coming out at a time now. We got, PowerBook G4 Titanium. Now this one, excuse me. This has all of a sudden become quite relevant. Oh, we've got an old one there. Let's just dump that. We didn't want that one. So the PowerBook G4 Titanium. This is basically what we now have the current MacBooks designed after, and people seem to love them. So I think we're definitely top half up here. Well, where are we thinking? Where do we think? Yuri thinks it's meh? Oh my. Okay, we'll drop it in Federighi for a minute, but I would like to hear some more opinions on the titanium PowerBook, because I think it's a pretty beautiful bit of kit. Look at this bad boy. Let's go a bit bigger. Tell me that the current MacBook Pro is not based on this. Look at that curve on the bottom. That is 100% what they've done. Titanium is solid. Ive, Federighi, Ive. Yeah, it's definitely in that top half. I'm saying it's above. Yeah, I think Ive is fair. I think Ive is fair. Let's do that. You get a bump. To say when that thing came out. This came out in 2001. 2001? 2002? When was it? I've lost it now. 2001. And that thing, 20 years later, still looks current. You can't argue with that. Right. iMac G4. 15-inch, we've done that one. The eMac, we've done it. The X-Serve. Right, what do we think? Now, this X-Serve that we've taken the picture of is... this one's in use at NASA. Probably still, because that's what NASA is like. So yeah, titanium's up there. That's cool. We're good. Apple X-Serve. Was it revolutionary? I don't know. Martin, yes, I forgot to put the cube on the list. I hadn't got a picture of it. I'm sorry. I was busy. It was a hectic day trying to get everything ready. All right, I was trying my best. Don't judge me. It's in the job section. It's fine. I think the X serves they're middle ground, aren't they? There's a reason that they don't still make them. It's not a thing of beauty, so I don't feel like it gets an IVE level. I think we go a solid Federighi on this one. There's nothing super exciting about it, right? iCaveDave.com/merch. Okay. Just going to do a quick check on something up here. Nope, not quite. I can get out of the way. Right. What else have we got down here? Let's have a look. Xserve slot loading. I don't feel like that was a massive leap. Oh, I suppose there was that iPod thing that happened. We should probably mention the iPod, shouldn't we? I'm slipping by not having a G4 Cube picture. You're right. I know. Yeah, iPods. They were fairly important to Apple. So this is when, under Steve, we finally got consumer-specific products. So the original iPod. Can this go anywhere other than jobs? iPod, jobs. I think that's got to happen. I think it's God tier. iPod, solid jobs. I mean, definitely the original and like the concept of iPod in general has to be up there, right? Marcin, what are you doing, HomePod Mini for IVE level? Because what? Just stop leaping. Wait your turn. iPod jobs level. OG iPod jobs. Jobs. Yeah, 100%. And if we look at what we've got in the jobs tier up here, it's basically everything that was massively revolutionary for the company. Makes sense. We've also got iPod Mini, I think, up here. I think that's probably an IVE level once you just went to the Mini. And then Nano, again, probably IVE's level. Let's just check these in right now while we're here. There's definitely another one here somewhere. This one, I think, iPod Shuffle. What do we think of the iPod Shuffle? Let's not bother putting any controls of how to choose a track on it kind of level. What do we think of that? Was it a good product? Steve was saying basically the reason that the iPod Shuffle existed was that a lot of people basically, because you know what the songs are on your iPod already, that being able to just have it randomly play your songs and discover stuff that you haven't listened to for a while was a really good idea. What do we think? Nano was IVE's because of the form factor. Yes, I had an iPod Shuffle from clone from Sanyo. It was great. Q level, people are saying, for the Shuffle. Shuffle goes in FG, Federighi, okay. Want to get your thoughts on this one. Q-ish. Yeah, I think it's on that kind of border between Federighi and Q. Now, I bought my wife an iPod Shuffle in product red with engraving on it as a little gift like years ago. And she really enjoyed it. But I also had the iPod Nano, which I don't know where it is now. But I had the iPod Nano with the wrist strap, like, way before you could get an Apple Watch. I think I had it in 2010, 2011. It was when I lived in Dubai. And it used to overheat all the time. That was funny. But yeah. I think the Shuffle is not as great. I think it's definitely kind of in this area. Let's go Q. It was just okay. Wait, the Shuffle had a screen, right? No, it did not. I don't think any of the Shuffles have ever had a screen. There was the little like white stick version, and then they made the kind of square one that was about the same size as the iPod Nano when it had just a screen. But it just had the click wheel bit. yeah, it's weird because it's still got a forward and back button, but you don't know what you're going forward to. It's just next. So, timeline. We've just covered all of those off right now. I'm actually 420-inch. We've done that. iPod Mini. Yeah, we've done that. We've done that. Cinema displays. We've done those. Airport Express. We've done because we did Airport in general. iPod Photo. Did anyone care? Don't think they did. Then, 2005, a product that is very close to my heart. The Mac Mini was introduced. The original Mac Mini. Which was, I don't have mine anymore, but I did have one. And it was basically the size of a CD drive, and then they stacked the other stuff underneath it. And I think these were pretty awesome, because this started out $499, and it was a gateway drug to Macs. Like, that was the whole point. $499, it cost you G4 chip inside. Not massively powerful, but it was kind of it was kind of the follow-up to the G4 Cube, I guess. What do we think of this? What do we think of the first generation of Mac Minis? Certainly had a lot of ports at the time. Yeah, for the size of the thing. But look at that. You had a phone port in it, so it had basically like an internal modem. Crazy. And this one as well, this had an external power supply, and then later they brought the power supply internal, and then they changed it again. But doesn't that power supply port look a lot like USB-C? It's not, but it did look a lot like it. And it looks like the next generation of Mac Mini as well is going to be a lot closer to this with the polycarbonate top. IVE level, I think IVE is a really good shout for that. I'm happy with IVE level for the first Mac Mini. Let's do that. And even the little box that it came in was like tiny. It was just like the size of this and the power supply underneath. So here we go. Let's go. IVE. Can we scroll sideways on these? We're going to run out of space. Right. So, Mac Minis. Done. We like Mac Mini. Power Mac G5s. Okay. This was a beast of a machine, and it still kind of inspires the previous Mac Pro that we've just had. The big old one. So, this is the original cheese grater. Where does that fit? This was the only time that Apple has ever done a water-cooled system as well. It was a Power Mac G5, I believe. What do we think? I feel like the Mac Mini never really fulfilled its purpose. Right, we're just going to jump into the chat for a minute, but keep talking about the G5, right? I feel like the Mac Mini never really fulfilled its purpose. I think people would get MacBooks or an iMac instead. The Mac Mini seems hardcore Mac user to me. So, I get what you're saying there. The Mac Mini is perfect for offices. It's one of the things that a lot of businesses use it because they know they don't have to upgrade the display every time if they're using it for kind of office-y type stuff, but want to have a Mac level, if they want to have a Mac system in their offices, really good. And the idea was that at $499, it was an easy way for people to move over from a PC, use their existing display, keyboard, mouse, and be able to kind of get into a Mac for like almost no money, like half the price of a MacBook of some sort. So it definitely had its place. It's never been hugely popular, but it's also massively popular with like developers and other people that want to be able to upgrade the core of it and keep the other stuff around it. It's exactly what I use today. And the Mac Mini M1 is the biggest selling desktop in Japan right now. Not bad. So yeah, Power Mac G5 jobs IVE level, says Marcin Kowalczyk. I would definitely say at least IVE level. It's up there. Like, the design is timeless. It still looks cool. It doesn't look vintage. It doesn't look old. It doesn't look outdated in any way, shape, or form. And this was pre-Intel for Apple. Like, just like that titanium PowerBook, I think this definitely sits in that kind of timeless design as well. So yeah, I think we're definitely gonna have to go at least. Oh, look, they get thicker. That's cool. Ive, I think people are comfortable with Ive. If anyone's got a different opinion, let us know in the comments there, and we can reassess. Oh, the original Apple TV. That's one of the things that we probably skipped past. Or did that come out about the same time as these? Let's have a chat about that anyway, because we're obviously starting to get into Intel stuff now, and the original Apple TV was basically a running Tiger little, basically a Mac Mini, although it's a bit flatter. Yeah, it's dropped down, Marcin. There's an extra row underneath on Ive. You'll see that Ive has got a bit thicker. So the original Apple TV, basically like just a small Mac that ran front row. Interesting little thing. Not a particularly good product, I don't think. I don't think Apple had quite worked it out at that point. So I'm going to say this is probably Q. I don't think it's a terrible product. It's not Forstall level. It's not that bad. But oh, see, yeah, see, you've gone for Frederici. I think it's a little bit lower. I think it's Q. But again, let me know any arguments against it in the comments. What else have we got here? Right, iMac, early 2006. Yeah, so this is basically, we're just starting to get into Intel at this point, right? 2006. So this is when we went from being Power Books and Power Macs going into Mac Pros and MacBooks. So that's how you can kind of tell the switchover point, which is why I was hoping that with Apple Silicon we'd also get new naming conventions too. But we did not. So we go over to the original, I think it was this one. Maybe this one. This is the MacBook, the 2006 MacBook, the polycarbonate. What are we thinking? I'm hovering around Ive for this. So this is the white or black polycarbonate versions. We have one we can have a look at. This was from a year later. This is a 2007 black MacBook. Oh yeah. And it still looks cool. It has no battery. That's understandable. But this is still a cool looking laptop. I don't think we can argue against... There we go. There I am. I think these are still awesome. Like, the keyboards on them are solid. They're just really nice little bits of kit. And they still perform kind of well. Like, I've got Lion on that, I think. Not bad going. Oh, Apple Tomorrow's here. How you doing, guys? Let's just jump back into the live chat. We're doing our 10K bad boy. Let's just open this on this. Yeah, how's everyone getting on? Let's have a quick look at the chat. Right. If Apple TV had a pass-through option to allow it to share an HDMI port on the TV, I'd move it to Federici at least. Yeah, it doesn't though. I don't think HDMI even existed at the time when this first generation Apple TV came out. So yeah, sorry, get rid of my mail out the way. People went crazy for the original MacBooks. They really did, and it was like, again, iconic. It was the white plastic and black plasticky stuff. It was pretty cool. Hold on 1 second. Yeah. So, I think these are definitely like Ive level, at least. What do you guys think? Steve level? Ive level? That's an excellent quote from me, Apple Tomorrow. Thank you. Yeah, let's go Ive level for the white and black plastic MacBooks. I think they were pretty cool. And let's crack on. Right, so we basically got all of the new MacBook Pros as well. We've got the unibody stuff. Let's grab these up. This was one of the first. I think when we basically moved over to the unibody design on everything, like, things just got good. This was the first MacBook Pro, I think. The original MacBook Pros, this one, let's have a quick look. This one. So you still got that silver kind of look to it. It's actually pretty much like the G4, I think. Kept basically the same design. Yeah, muted mic like a pro. But yeah, I think these are beautiful. Like, that still looks cool. One of the things that is weird, though, is to see a MacBook Pro that's got, like, not a full-size trackpad. Like, it's got the clicky buttons on the bottom. It's just odd. Just seems... That's the only thing that dates the design, I think. So I think all of these MacBook Pros, the first generation, once they went over to Intel, just blew everyone away. The problems came a little bit later when we got to the skinny ones, and we were having a lot more issues with thermals and things. So then we go on to, what are we on, 2007. Started to get into the aluminium iMacs. What have we got down here? Oh, we got the Power Mac G5 and G5 and Intel, the polycarbonate one. Did we like this? I'm not 100% sure. I think this was probably Federighi level. It was a bit dull, but it was definitely the forerunner of what we have with iMac now. I'm going to say Federighi on there, but let me know if you argue with me on that one. And then what else is next? Oh, we have got our cinema displays. I think those were absolutely beautiful. They're definitely Johnny Ive level. And we're now starting to find the pictures of the stuff that I couldn't find earlier when we were talking about them. So we'll just drop them into their right spots now. Then what is next? So timing-wise, mid-2007, we got the Mac Minis with Intel. We got the iMacs with aluminium bodies from, like, early 2008. That was it. Had more X-Serves, USB super drives. Yeah, basically everything kind of started getting updated around here once we got Intel into them. And then also, I suppose in 2007, we should probably touch on this little bit here. The iPhone, I guess, is something that we should probably mention. Fairly important for Apple. First ever iPhones. So there's no way for me to tell which of these iPhones was the first ones and which was later, but we're going to start with that one. Although I think that's the iPod Shuffle. We're going to start with that one. So the original iPhone has to be Jobs level, right? Straight up to the top. You can't put it anywhere else. Original iPhone, Jobs level. iPhone 3G. How much better was it? It had more stuff. I feel like it wasn't an enormous leap. So I feel like for the 3G and 3GS, they can all live in the kind of Federighi kind of not massive advancements. Yeah. Does this seem fair to everyone? Cool. Then we're going to go up to the iPhone 4. iPhone 4, revolutionary. 4 is Jobs. Yep, absolutely. So I'm going to assume that this is Jobs, and we're going to put that up there. I'm going to assume that that's the 4. The 4S. How exciting. Okay. 3G goes up to Ive, says someone. App Store says... Now, Evan, I'm pretty sure that if you had the original iPhone, you can get the App Store. It was more of that was a software update. Correct me if I'm wrong. The 3G might have introduced it, but that's not the only, like, that's not a hardware thing. What? Nanny's here. I've just heard. 4 is jobs, definitely. 3. Why is 3G jobs? Why is 3G and 3GS? I think 3G, 3GS, both IVE. Then 4 is jobs. 4S then drops down again to like Federighi, because revolutionary in that it got Siri, but I don't think design wise or the hardware particularly. So the 4 also the first Apple Silicon, and also jobs level, the original iPad. Marcin, I can see you, mate. I can see you. You just tagged me. You didn't say anything. 4S, not as much of a leap, so not jobs tier. Yeah, I agree. The original iPad, jobs tier. This was the first Apple Silicon. That's important. We have to have that there. Then we're moving on to... Yeah, I know 3G and 3GS isn't jobs level, Marcin. I've already done that. You're okay. Cool, so iPhone 4, 4S, we've gone to Federighi. iPhone 5, first redesign. Don't think it was quite jobs. I think it's probably, let's say, IVE. 5S, jobs. That's when we got Touch ID. That's when we got... Yeah, Evan, I'm with you on that. iPhone 5 is the prettiest of all time. iPhone 5S, however, gave us Touch ID. It gave us 64-bit ARM processors. That was where we got the huge jump ahead of everyone else. So that's definitely jobs tier. So we'll put the 5 into IVE. The 5C. What do people think of the 5C? Did we like it? Did we hate it? I was a big fan. App Store was iOS 3. That's fine. Cool. Right, phones. We're just gonna plow through the phones right now. I have no idea what any of these are in the pictures, but we'll ignore that. iPhone 5 was a bit skinny on the battery. They definitely are these days, but still got a couple. So iPhone 5C. We're gonna go with this one. 5C. Did you like it or hate it? Q for the 5C. Harsh. I would have said Federighi. I would have said in the middle there. I think it was good. But it was sad because it came out immediately at the same time as the 5S. The 5S is going to hang around for many years because it has that 64-bit processor. Yes, TZR-Actor 5C with the plastic body. That's the one. So then we go up to the 6. Do we love the 6? I know it was a huge seller, but was it a great product? Remember, we got the 6 and we got the 6 Plus as well. Go Federighi for the 5C. Yep, I'm happy with that. Original iPod Touch. Again, I would say probably somewhere in the middle. They were kind of cool. iPhone 6 is definitely not jobs level, you're right. Len, if you've got iCav answers, slap them down in the comment section. We will do that later at the end or in the next video. My first iPhone was the 6 Plus, the slow cuber. First big screen, IVEs for importance. Yeah, cool, I'm down with that. Federighi for 6. 6 was IVE. Yeah, we've got 6 Plus was revolutionary. Yeah, I think going to the bigger screens was definitely important. So, yeah, we will chuck that into the IVE level. 6S. I think Federighi. Yeah. What did we gain with the 6S? We got Force Touch. which they've then got rid of. I think it was a really good feature, but it's gone. So obviously it wasn't popular enough. What else have we got around this time? I'm just going to have a quick look. What year are we on now? It's getting confusing. I thought it was worth doing all the iPhones because there's some weird stuff. Oh, I suppose we should have done MacBook Air. Let's just throw in the MacBook Air. The 2008 version when that first came out. I think at least Ive level for the design, but not Jobs level because it kind of sucked performance-wise. Let me know your thoughts. 6S Federighi, yep, I agree on that one. So we're going to do the 7. The 7 was the first, the 7 Plus was the first that had the portrait mode photos because it had the dual cameras on the back. I think that's going to be... It's Ive level because it wasn't, again, a revolutionary design, but it was definitely important in terms of what happened later. Evan Rogers, we did iPad. It's up there in the Jobs level. We're not doing every iPad, but we are going to do some of the big kind of landmark iPads. And I guess the next one after the original iPad that we would need to do would be the iPad with Retina display. I know the iPad 2 was the first one that got cameras and stuff like that, but the Retina display was the next big kind of change to iPad. And I did get a picture of that. Don't know where it's gone. It's probably one of these, in fairness. So we'll call this the Retina iPad. Where do we think that goes? Peter Holman, force still, I want my headphone jack. No, you're not having it back. You can't have it. Len, cool. We are going to touch on the M1 iMacs in a little bit. I think the Retina display iPad's important, so we're going to stick that up in Ive, although it performed pretty terribly. And then iPad Air. The first iPad Air, when they slimmed down the bezels, again, important, not revolutionary. We're going to throw that in here. We'll come back to some iPhones in a minute, because next we're going to be getting on to, like, iPhone 10, iPhone 8 generation. Retina is Ive, yeah, I think that's fair. Retina displays on an iPad were just absolutely gorgeous when they first came out. Nobody had got pixel density like that on anything. Even though the chip really was not ready for it. It was quite laggy. I've got one here, in fact. First Retina. Still in a rubbery case, because the kids have been using it. Cool. We are building up my little museum quite nicely. Let's see what else have we got here. Let's just jump over to the chat really quickly. Never left my house so fast to buy anything as I did the Retina iPad. All the way to Luton from London in a blink. Fair enough. They are pretty nice little bits of kit, especially for like just looking at working on photos and stuff like that. Really, really good. So, what is next? So let's jump back over to the iPhones. Let's get through these. So, iPhone 8, which is basically the first one that came out with the wireless charging, came out at the same time as the iPhone 10. Kind of got overlooked. It's a fine phone. It's basically the iPhone SE. But, yes, mate.
Charlie opened.
See how I unmuted my mic just to cough at you then? Sorry, guys. We're getting through these, right. Let's see. I really don't know what we've got here now. Let's go iPhone 10. iPhone 10, when that first came out. Is that Jobs tier or is it Ive? Jobs or Ive? It is a revolution for the iPhone. It's the biggest design change it ever got. I think we go Steve. I think we go Jobs. Marcin Kowalczyk, iPhone 8 IVE level. Really? I would say Federici. I don't think it was different enough, but the 10 when it came out, the biggest difference that we've had for a long time. But this is the joy of this, and if you guys are interested, you can actually go over to tiermaker.com and you can grab all of these images in the tier list, make your own, and submit them to me. Like, fire them at me on Twitter. Let me know what you think. If you search Arcade Dave on there, you'll find it. 10 is jobs. Yeah, I think. Megan says, I don't think the 10 is jobs, in my opinion. Okay. Okay. Len Adams, look at my question. Len, is it in the comments? Because I can't see those until the video's over. But that's okay. 10 is Ive. Okay, we're going to bring the 10 down to Ive. Okay, I'm comfortable. I can do that. Right. We're getting down these now. Right, we've got, after that, the 10S. 10S, I think probably Federici. There wasn't much of a change. We're going to drop that in here. We also had the 10R. What did the 10 bring? The 10 brought Face ID. It brought the full screen design. It brought the redesigned back cameras that was in the vertical layout. It brought true depth on the front so that you could have portrait mode on the front-facing camera. A whole bunch of other stuff. So yeah, it was a pretty huge one. Len, what's your question, mate? Just pop it in the chat again because I can't see it. I can't search the chat, unfortunately. But if you've got an iCave answers, then we will do that in the next in the next main show if you pop it in the comment section. But right now we're doing our tier list. That's what we're up to. So yeah, what are we thinking? X is jobs, 10 is jobs. Fine, we'll go up to 10. I think for the up to jobs for the 10, and then yeah, we're going 10S in Federici. Yes, it did give us OLED as well. You're right. 10 is jobs. Yeah, cool. I'm down with that. 10S Federici, very iterative compared to the other one. We got a bigger one. That was kind of the biggest change. Obviously, we got a faster processor. We got the A13, A12. And then we had the iPhone XR. What do we think of the XR? This was still the LCD, but great budget option, quick, medium size. Federici, it's not revolutionary. I think Federici is fair. We will finish off all the iPhones, and then we will come to like Apple TV and HomePod and stuff. The rest of these iMacs, I mean, really, at least Federici, if not iMac Pro jobs. iMac Retina, 5K Retina. It's got to be at least Ive. The 2013, yeah, that's got to be like, yeah, I think. And then so yeah, let's finish off these iPhones, shall we? 10S is FG. 10S is Forstall. What? No. Federici. 10R is Federici or Ive. Good all-rounder, good and durable. Yeah, I agree. I don't think it was revolutionary enough to be quite into Ive, but I think a solid Federici. Then what else have we got? Right, we're going into the 11. Not the 11 Pro, but the 11. What do we think for the 11? Give me a level. I think the 11 was really solid. Really good battery life. I think 11. Federici or Ive? I'm going to say Federici. Ive or jobs. Awesome stabilization of video. Great camera, stellar pics. No macros, so probably Ive. Ive? I could go Ive. iMac Pro definitely not jobs. Okay, we'll bring it down to Ive. I thought they were pretty solid. I thought people were very excited. All of the 11s were jobs in my opinion. Saran, oh hey buddy, how you doing? Cheaper price for the 11. So do we think 11 Pro goes up in jobs? 11 in Ive? What do we think? 11 Pro? Oh, that's not an 11 Pro, but that'll do. We're really struggling with these images because the tier maker was not kind to them. This might be that one, actually. Let's go with that. And this is an iPad of some sort. Cool. So, 11 Pro, I think we're going to go up there. That's cool. Then what else have we got here? We got the 12. Should we talk 12? iPhone 12. For some reason, I've put in the Mini and the Mini, the Pro, and the Pro Max, I think. So that was ridiculous of me. iPhone 12 redesign. Is it jobs level? Is it jobs? James Houghton. I think that the James Houghton there saying, I think 11 was more evolutionary than revolutionary. Ives more than jobs. Evan Rogers. It's Saran. I know. 12 is Federighi. What? What, Ted? You're hurting my heart, man. The 12, that redesign, surely that is worth something. The 12 Pro Max had the sensor shift. Yes. Yes, it did. I'm going to say, right, here's my thing. I thought the iPhone 12 Pro, the non-Max Pro, was like the worst value of the lot. So I think that one is going to go in like Federighi at best. I think the 12 Mini is a Q at best because of the horrendous battery life. The 12 Pro Max, I would say, is jobs because it has got the battery that it needed. It's got all of the other good stuff. I'm going to put it up there because it's still my main driver. It shoots everything on the channel normally. We are today using an actual camera. We're using the Lumix today because it's actually quite nice for live streams. 12 Ive at best, but what about the 12 Pro Max? That's what we're talking about here. 12 edges into Ive, but you think the 11 was jobs? Are you crazy, Saran? You crazy? So, let's see. We're getting into 13 territory as well next, I think. So we're going to do that. Oh, but before we do, let's just backtrack a little bit. The first iPad Pro. Yeah, Slow Cuba, sorry. The 12 Pro is in FG because it wasn't better enough than the 12 to justify its price tag. The 13 Pro, much better than the 13, justifies its price tag. That's my argument there. Let me know why I'm wrong. And I'll tell you why you are. Yes, the 11 was a better phone because in my honest opinion, the 12 only had the new design going for it. Oh! It really did not. It's a beautiful thing. I won't hear this, Saran. Right. We're going to go 13. What are we doing? The basic 13. I think it's pretty good. Where does the 13 live? I don't think it was that exciting. I think Ive at best. Cameras. I know cameras. I'm aware of cameras. Right, 13 Pro and Pro Max. Saran, I know you've got 13 Pro, right? What do you think? iPad Pro OG had the big screen, so I'd say Ive or jobs. I think it's pretty revolutionary as well. Where did I put it? I'm sure I brought it up here. Sure I did something with it. Oh, it's over here. Ive or Jobs? I think Ive probably for the 12.9 for the first ones. In fact, we'll make this iPad Pro in general. The iPad Pro, I think, is Ive level. I don't think it's Jobs level. It wasn't revolutionary. It's a better version of something we already had. iPhone 13 Pro Max is a top tier phone. You well up there? You think it's a Jobs level? 13 Pro Max Jobs, best iPhone ever made. Yeah, I mean, obviously it is. It's the most recent one. And it's the biggest and the best one. So, yeah, that's fair enough. Cool. Let's put it up there. 13. Oh, I think this is the 13 Pro Max because it's in Sierra Blue. That makes sense. Boom. Right. Oh, there's some stuff that I've missed here. Right, let's get into this. I'm going to ignore the rest of these iPhone ones because I don't know what they are. And I've got confused. Trash Can Mac Pro. Trash is in the name for a reason, right? What do we think? You tell me. Come on, chat. Hit me up on the trash can. What we saying? "13 Pro is Jobs, not only Max." Okay. Cool. We'll chuck a couple more up in the Jobs section. That's fine by me. Trash Can Mac Pro was beautiful. Yes. Evan, you can see that the Apple cloth is there, but that's not a product that's been released yet in our timeline, so you can wait. You can wait. Trash Can FG at best. Proves they can still innovate. Yeah, exactly. Hey, Trash Can Mac Pro was my very first and still current Mac. It works great. Cool, James. Like, I would love to have one, but the cost of them now, given the performance, like, it's way under what you get from a M1 Mac Mini, which I've got, that costs way less even than a used trash can. I can't justify getting one. I would love to have one, though, because it's such a cool piece of kit. Trash Can is Ives, held up well in pro tasks, even with inferior hardware. Needs a special category for the SE. The only one that still has the home button, and it's the only one that I can get my senior family members to use. Don't know what I'll do when it's gone. Oh yeah, the SE is one that we've got here actually. I think the current SE is just such a great phone for the price. So I think that can happily sit in the Jobs, in the Ive tier at least. So we'll do that. I'm happy with that. Trash Can Mac Pro though, where are we putting it? Do we think mid-table Federighi was a great idea? Maybe we just need a Schiller category purely for this that is bravery. It's just its own bravery category. You know what? Actually, I think it's going to go in the Q category because they did it once and then they never updated it, and I think that's the biggest kind of crime of the thing. They never moved on with it. Tell me why I'm wrong, but I definitely think yes. What Slowcuber is saying now in the chat. If they were to put Apple Silicon inside that kind of body, it would be awesome. Right. Let's crack on. The 2015 MacBook. Now, I know we've gone off the timeline a little bit here. 2015 MacBook, the 12-inch, no fan, Intel, overheating, butterfly keyboard. It's a beauty, right? It's a beauty. This is Jobs tier. Everyone loves a butterfly keyboard. What do we think? The Phil Schiller Courage Award goes to the Trash Can Mac. Now, I think unfortunately, as much as I hate to do it, this the 2015 MacBook Pro, the 2015 MacBook, you're a Forstal. It was a failure. There was 2 generations of it. I really wish it wasn't a failure. I think it was great. But it didn't do what it was supposed to. It wasn't great. The 2010 MacBook Air, so this is the one with the silver bezels. This is the one that replaced the 2008. It's got to be a solid, like, Federighi. It was just a workhorse. It did really well. It was what I started on. It was the 11-inch. I think that's fair. Who says Forstall? Is this for the trash can? 2015 overheating. Oh no, okay, cool. Yeah. I think this is the thing, right? With the 2015 MacBook, 2015 Mac Pro. No, the 2015 MacBook. It's gotta go in Forstall because it was terrible. Like, we all wanted to love it. I still kind of want one. I think the design was beautiful. It didn't work. It didn't do the job it was supposed to do. So unless your main workflow is notes, not great. Right. Let's see what else we got. The kind of middle of the road Mac Mini. So this is basically when it had no CD drive, no DVD drive. So I guess this is 2014 on. It was kind of a workhorse. I think this is Federighi. It's mid-table. It did the job. It didn't overheat. It did what it was supposed to do. Nothing exciting about it, but it was fine. When we've got all of the Apple Watches still to go. MacBook Air when it got redesigned. So this is the 2017 Retina MacBook Air. What do we think? I think the redesign was good. Did it still have butterfly keyboard right then, or was this one of the first to go back to Magic? I'm not sure. But where do we put this? It was a good redesign because it finally got Retina, but it was very late to the Retina party. Like 2013, the MacBook Pro's got it. Where are we going to go? Where are we going to go with the MacBook Air? It's not a Mac Mini, it's a time capsule photo. You might be right. Actually, that is a time capsule. You're right. That's that big green light on it. Time capsule's good, though. I think I'm still happy with it being in Federighi. Butterfly keyboard was it on the MacBook Air Retina. Okay, so Q is the highest it can go. It was definitely a big improvement over the previous one, but not great as a result of that. But the MacBooks that we've basically got left is when we're talking Apple Silicon. There's a little bit left. This is the Mac Mini, so that's fine. That's the one that goes there, because that's the CD drive you can see. So that was the early one. That was the first Intel, and then we had... Maybe we didn't get the other one. That's fine. We got one more iPad left. I think this was the 5th generation, which was when they started doing the super cheap ones. That's definitely a solid Federighi, at least. Okay, 2019 Mac Pro. 2019 Mac Pro. What do we do? Why is the MacBook Air 2017 IVE? Do tell. It had a butterfly keyboard. How can it be that high? Let me know. 2019 Mac Pro. The big return of the trash can. Everyone loved it. 28 cores, 50 grand. Where are we going to go? Bearing in mind that it's had like one update and it's now being outperformed 2 years later by a MacBook Pro 14-inch. Len will be coming to the home stuff very, very soon. Don't worry. I think this is at least IVE tier for the new Mac Pro, the 2019. Okay, Yuri, if it was 2018, that's cool. I thought it was 2017. Sus. Hey, dragons. Yeah, I'm going to go IVE for the 2019, because it was a solid redesign. Cool. Right, let's get into the home stuff. Let's just do that now. Apple TVs. We did the original, the G4 one that basically ran Tiger. We've done that. What have we got? So we got the original... This is the 2nd generation Apple TV. This was the one that you could jailbreak and basically watch everything on iTunes. Interesting. That's why they got a lot more expensive than the others. It was cool. The 3rd gen was the first one that did 1080p, I want to say, and the 2nd gen did 720. I think these were a solid upgrade over the previous one. IVE? I'm going to go IVE. Then we're going to go IVE. Translation product. Don't know what that means. I'm going to go IVE for the Apple TV 2. Then Apple TV HD, which is the kind of current one that we've got now. and along with the 4K ones. Do we like the Apple TV, or is it not as cool? Little hockey puck ones, yeah, it is great. The hockey puck one, the flatter one, the third generation, was the one with the aluminium remote, not the glass top. AirTags, yeah, okay, let's do AirTags really quickly. This was the most anticipated Apple product that nobody then ever talked about once it came out, because nobody cared anymore. It was very exciting. Will it come this week? Will it come next week? Will it come the week after? Will it come at the next event? Nobody cares. Soz. So all the Apple TVs we should put into into Federighi, just in the middle. Yeah, I think that's fair. They're not brilliant, but I think they're the best streaming box out there, but that's not saying a lot. Cool. That's in there. Let's talk HomePods. Original HomePod. Where should it be? This is going to be controversial. It's a failure of a product, as it seems most things in its shape and form factor are. Oh, Sarambai. I think the AirTag is Ive, reasonably priced and does its job well. Yeah, I just think it was such a hype train. And then, yeah, it is a solid product. It does do its job well. Yeah, maybe we should be in the Federighi time. Len Adams, hang on. You tell me what I need to hang on for. Okay. Let's put AirTags in Federighi. That's actually probably fair. I don't think it's Ive, but I think it's pretty good. HomePod is Q. Oh, HomePod is Federighi. We're gonna have some like the HomePod since it was brought out. It didn't sell. And then as soon as they discontinued it, it basically sold out immediately, and the prices on eBay went up because people actually love them. It's just that nobody knows about them. OG HomePod Forstall, utter failure. Worst failure since 2000. Really? But people love it. And, you cannot get them for love nor money now. In the used market, because the people that have got them love them. HomePod Mini Jobs. Really? The sound on the original one is insane. People complain about the sound on the minis. I've got a mini. It's not even plugged in right now. It's over here. Look. It's not attached to anything. Look. It's just... If I could have used that as the speakers for my Mac Mini effectively and not with a horrible delay, brilliant. But I'm actually a little bit disappointed with the HomePod Mini. Evan Rogers thinks it's Jobs. HomePod was overpriced. Yeah, it was. But it also sounds incredible for the price. I'm going to say HomePod is a solid Federighi. Should have been an Ive or a Jobs. But Apple didn't promote it enough. It was very difficult for people to know what it was. And I think the Mini is probably a Mini as well. Or maybe Ive. Maybe Ive. I'm going to put it in Ive. I love my HomePod though, and I want a second. There we go. You can't buy them now. Everyone wants them again. AirTag solid Federighi. Okay. Cool. Yeah, see, such disputes over here. HomePod is Federighi, HomePod is Mini Jobs. Hate to say it, HomePod is Q. HomePod OG, I've had since I've since second hand. Boom. What? I'm not quite sure what that means. But yeah, AirTags fell flat. OG HomePod Forstall, utter failure. It's so difficult because there's so many different opinions on this. It's crazy. Think there will be a new big HomePod, says Peter. I think there will be, but I don't think it's going to look anything like what we had now, and I think it's going to be combined probably with an Apple TV as kind of sound bar with motion control and all that sort of stuff. I think they need to reassess what they're doing with TV and HomePods in general, I think. The mini HomePods, they all make sense, but allow them to work together as part of a surround system or something. Um, AirTags, Federighi, okay. Should have had HomePod XL. I think it'll come eventually. More palatable price. Yeah, HomePod was not marketed well. This is the problem. Great product, marketed not well enough. It wasn't marketed to consumers. It was marketed through like WWDC or something. Len Adams, hey there. What can I do for you, Len? Do tell me what I've missed of yours, because I'm trying. You said hang on, and then you didn't say anything other than hey. OG should go to Ive since people want them second hand. That's what I meant by boom. Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, they are great, but it wasn't a successful product. So, back to the tier list. We're nearly there. We're nearly there, you guys. We're on the home straight. So while we're on audio, let's do AirPods. Original AirPods. What do we think? That has got to be solid gold. That's solid jobs. Right? Tell me if I'm wrong about the AirPods being a jobs product. Sold out for years. Len Adams, if you've got a question you need to ask me here, if I've missed it, I'm sorry. Okay. Len Adams, if you're asking if it was designed by Ive or whether it should be Ive tier. So, yeah, anything that we're putting in here, these are just our tiers. So it's Steve Jobs tier is the best stuff they've ever done. Ive is the next down. Federighi is the next down from that. Q, down. Forstall, worst ever. That's how we're doing it. OG AirPods Jobs, 100%. Like, it's 100% revolutionary. People are still wearing them. Like, the second generation. I'm including that in the OG HomePod, in the OG AirPods as well, because very, very similar. Slight improvements, like evolutionary. AirPods Pro. Is this also Jobs level? They're definitely Ive. They're definitely great. Are they Jobs or are they Ive? You guys tell me. I'm going to probably say Ive, but I'm not a fan of the silicon tips. Evan, AirPods 2 we're including in AirPods 1 because it's the same design and it was basically just an update to the chip inside. Nothing crazy. AirPods Pro Ives. That's what I was thinking. They're great, but did they do enough different? AirPods Max, either Forstall or Jobs. Probably both, yeah. It's both the best and the worst. I would probably say... Oh, Apple TV Ive tier. Like, the concept of it, or Apple TV... Like, what is it that you think makes them that much better? Like, I think it is the best streaming box there is, and I would be happy to go Ive tier, because we use Apple TVs on every TV in the house. So I'm definitely with you, but I think the price that they charge for it, and, like, the lack of fulfilling its destiny as more of a kind of gaming thing, I think that's why we put it there, but I could be wrong. Uncle Bud, did I put iPod Hi-Fi on the list? No, I didn't, because, again, kind of not a massive thing, but I think it's fair. iPod Hi-Fi, where would you put it, though, Uncle Bud? Let me know. So I think I'm going to put AirPods Max in the middle, because they are both Jobs tier and Forstall tier, so I'm averaging it out. They had so much potential for doing the lossless stuff. They had so much potential for being like this incredible product, but they made them too expensive. They didn't allow you to use them cabled properly, and they don't do lossless. So I've got to average it out, I think. I think that's fair. So, AirPods 3rd gen, the ones that have just come out. I'm not going to say that these are Jobs tier. I would say they're probably... I would have said they're probably Ive tier, but I've heard so many people having problems with them falling out of their ears. I think they are evolutionary rather than revolutionary. They've brought some of the features down. that were in the top line. So I'm going to put them in Federici, as much as I love mine, and I absolutely adore these things. I'm going to put them in the Federici tier because, yeah, they're not magical compared to what they've done before. AirPods 3 is FG. Yep, cool. All right, let's just go through these. We'll do the watches at the end. Cool. So, this is obviously Jobs tier. And we can move on from the polishing cloth at this point, I think. iMac with M1 inside. Beautiful display. M1 power. Bugger all ports. Where are we going to put it? Where are we going to put the iMac with M1? Who's got one of these? I'm sure someone said that they've got the M1 iMac. My dad's got it. He really likes it. It's basically a beautiful display with... it's got to be at least IVE level, right? IVE. I think that's safe. Then we've also got... oh, that's the older MacBook Pros. They're not so great because these were the ones that overheated. So MacBook Pro with M1. Yeah, M1 iMac is IVE. Yep, I think that's fair. M1 is Jobs. iMac with M1 is IVE. Okay, I think the M1 that's going to go into that top category is probably the Air. I think M1 Air is probably the top tier. Because the fact that you can have this much power in a thin and light with that much battery life, with no fan, completely silent, which is less things to go wrong, I think that's fair. I think the M1 MacBook Air is the Jobs. Yep, slow cuber, I'm with you, mate. I'm with you. We are nearly there. It's the home straight, guys. It's the home straight. So the MacBook Pro with M1 is going into IVE. I think that's fair. I think everyone's cool with this. The M1 MacBook Air, which is what my wife uses on a daily basis, absolute beast of a machine for the money. And I would also say, for the price, the M1 Mac Mini, also Jobs tier. I think that's fair, because it's just so good for $700. So I'm going to put it there. If you think I'm wrong about the Mac Mini, that's fine. You can let me know why. And let's jump into M1 MacBook Pros with M1 Pro and M1 Max. Saruji tier, yeah. I think that's fair. Are we going to put these into the top category as well? Because they're basically the most powerful Macs going. These things are outperforming Mac Pros. They cost a damn sight more expensive. Jobs. Yep. I think that's absolutely fair. Pro Display XDR. Where are we going to put that bad boy? When it came out, I think everyone was happy with it being somewhere up in this kind of area. Today, still a current product. I'm going to say Q for the Pro Display XDR. It may be controversial, but let me know why. So let's go back to the tier list so you can actually see what's going on. We haven't got a lot left. These, I can't even remember which iPhones these are, so we're going to ignore those. We're not going to even bother putting them in. But Pro Display XDR is Q. No promotion is a bummer. Yeah, I think that's about the right place. Pro Display is Forstal. Pro Display price is a joke. Again, it wasn't at the time. Nobody was doing mini LED. And it was competing with $20,000 displays. So I don't think it was a joke at the time. It shouldn't still exist at that price. It should probably be 2 instead of 5, I would say. 2.5, maybe. It's a beautiful display, but it's not it's not up to the standards of what we do right now. So yeah, it doesn't make any sense. So yeah, I'm gonna put it in Q. I'm not gonna put it in Forstall because it's still a good display. It's not a complete failure. XDR is Jobs. What are you smoking, TCR reactor? Is it? XDR displays in general are. XDR today, FG or Q. I agree, Marcin. I think we're... Yeah, no, I am doing. But now you can get a MacBook Pro or an iPad Pro that's got 5 times more local dimming zones. That's why it doesn't cut the mustard anymore. Like, I agree, it's cool. It doesn't make sense as a product. Not at the price it's at now. It did in 2019 when it came out, but the market moved on super quickly. That's my point. And I see why there's the argument for it the other way, but I can't put it any higher than a Q right now. Apologies, I sound a bit snotty. Right, let's get into the Apple Watches. Oh, yeah, we'll come back to iPad Mini. Apple Watch, the first one. Maybe this one? We'll see. This looks good to me. Right, Apple Watch Series 0. Let's go with that one, actually. Series 0 Apple Watch. And this is bearing in mind what it was at the time. Is it revolutionary? It's not for sale anymore. TZ Reactor, yeah, at launch, I agree, but it's still on sale, so we have to judge it against the market that it's for sale in now. New Mini is Jobs. Ted, I completely agree, that's where it is. Apple Watch is Jobs. This is the first generation. This is the Series 0. Right. I would say for revolutionary, I've. For the performance that it's... for the revolutionariness of launching it, yeah, actually we're going to put it in Jobs. But it was an absolute fail quickly. And I agree with you, Marcin, as well. I think it was revolutionary enough. And actually, I've had a Series 0 in a Apple Watch 3 world, because I had a 2 and then I broke it, and then I got a 0 because I could get it for very little money, and actually it was absolutely acceptable for what I needed it to do. And it was a stainless steel, and I paid like £80 for it. So I'm actually going to put it up there because I know it was criticised a lot for the performance, but actually, even today, my sister-in-law uses it, and it tracks all of her workouts, it does notifications, it does basically everything that she needs. So I'm going to say, for the way that it changed things, that's where it should be. Series 1, now this is the one that came out that kind of replaced the Series 0, just had the better chip in it. That is IVE level for me. Series 2, which is definitely here, the Series 2. Apple Watch on launch is IVE. Yeah, I think, yeah, we're definitely. I see where we're going here. Original Apple Watch is Jobs. Yeah, for the revolutionariness of putting all of that in your watch on your wrist, I think it makes sense. Apple Watch Series 2, I think did a really good job. Series 2 came out at the same time as the Series 1. We're going to put it there. They were both really good. Series 2 is Jobs. I think the Series 2 is still usable now. So actually, yeah, I think Jobs is probably okay for that. Series 1 is IVE. Yep, that's what we got. So now, Series 3. This one is still on sale now. So we have to judge it against the market that it lives in. And I think it's a Q at best. If they discontinued it when they should have discontinued it, then that would make sense to me. Len, I will definitely do your question as soon as we finish the list. I promise you. I think if they discontinued it when they should have discontinued it, then that would make sense. It should be higher up. But they're still selling it to this day. It's $200. It's not worth $200 now. That is where it should be. It's like, I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt and giving it a Q because it's just like, it's not a terrible product, but it shouldn't be on sale anymore. It it suffers from the same thing as the Pro Display XDR in my head. The SE, I haven't actually put one in here for the SE. That's what I'm wearing right now. Still wearing it from release day. Love it. Love it very much. I would say that the SE is IVE level. But let me know your thoughts. It's a Series 5 processor, I think. In the Series 4 body, but you just don't get the bonus, like, high-level medical stuff. So you don't get EKG, you don't get blood oxygen, you don't get that kind of stuff. But all of the main stuff that you want is there. So I think I would say IVE. Apple Watch SE is IVE? Yeah, 100%. Marcin, I would have to go to the shed to find cables and stuff, but we will do that soon, I promise. Right, Apple Watch Series 4. I think it's IVE level. I think 4 is IVE. What do we think? I think 4 is IVE. Apple Watch in general is a great product line. Megan, totally need sugar monitor on Apple Watch. Yes, we do, but I would almost certainly guarantee you that it won't be enough if you are insulin dependent for administering that, just so you know. Apple Watch Series 5, I think Federighi, it just didn't kind of add that much from the 4 to the 5. The 6 as well didn't really add much, if I remember. And the 7, it's Forstall. 7's Forstall. Sorry. 7 is 6.5 at best. Warcraft 2. What? Hang on, wait. Did the Apple Watch Series 6 add Warcraft 2 and nobody told me about it? What's going on there? So, final product. iPad mini. And I guess it's a little bit of a controversial one. So, iPad mini, I'm going to throw it over to you guys. The iPad mini. The new one with the kind of crazy jelly scrolling that's an issue but not an issue. Let me know, where should it live? This is the last one. Federighi? 7 is totally fine. Everyone was just crazy for that ugly slab-sided redesign. No, it looked better. It looked a lot better, Peter. The 7 was just thrown together. Federighi for the iPad mini. Everyone was most excited about this at the event. So we've got center stage. You've got the new design. You've got that lovely screen, even if it has the weird jelly scrolling. Odd spacing in iOS and weird, okay? Display is too small, says Slowcuber. iPad mini is IVE. New mini is FG. Can't argue taste. Fair enough, Peter. No, I'm just not a fan. I think it looks like... I think that new watch face was a bit thrown together. Doesn't do anything for me. Slowcuber, I'm watching an iPad 9. It has center stage for $200 less. Yeah, 100% is what my kids have both got now. New iPad mini is FG. Okay, we're going to pop it in the middle there. That makes sense to me. Happy with that. Federighi. Cool. And we are done. We're done. We're going to save it. So, the question that I have to answer. This one is... I will save it in a minute. Sod that. Right, over to the live chat. We'll just do this. Thank you all for joining me, by the way. This is our 10,000 subscriber live stream. Really appreciate you all being here. One of the things that I keep looking at my email for is a few of you guys had asked me to set up a Patreon, and I have. I've done it. As you all know, I'm fun employed. So yeah, my Patreon page has been set up. There's not a massive amount that's going to be different for people on there. There's going to be a iCave Dweller tier and a iCave Producer tier. So it's £3 a month and £10 a month, I think. Nothing's finalised on it, but the idea is that you'll get access to an ad-free version of the videos. You'll also get access to the videos as soon as they're finished, instead of waiting for the 12 PM UTC. There's a couple of other bits. We'll do some little live streams and stuff like that. But don't feel obliged to do it. It's not going to be a huge change. We might have to integrate something with the iCave answers down the road once we get to that point, that I physically cannot answer every question that's coming in, unless we do it on separate stuff. Oh, Evan Rogers, thank you very much, sir. Appreciate your super chat. But yeah, the Patreon is set up. I was hoping that I was going to get the little email through that says it's been approved, but that's not come through yet. So we'll mention it in the next few shows. There is going to be another t-shirt design, as I've mentioned, which will be featuring the Memojis. If you haven't done it yet, throw them up. DM me on Twitter, whatever you need to do, and that would be amazing. Megan, this has been super fun. First channel I've watched from almost day 1 to 10k plus. You totally earned every sub. Oh, thank you. You're very, very kind. But yeah, 2.5 hours. Yeah, I was intending to do up to about 2 hours today, but there was a lot to get through. Apple's made loads of stuff over the years, it turns out. And yes, I did say that I was going to go back and answer this question. So you guys can all help me out with this one as well. So the question is, based on the products that we're expecting to see in spring, what do we think the spring event might be called? Now, I'm not 100% sure because Apple doesn't tend to name the events based on the stuff that they're showing us. I know James Apple has suggested Spring Reloaded, because obviously we had Spring Loaded this year. Oh, another super chat. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you very much, TZ Reactor. 4.49. It's a weird amount that YouTube sometimes suggests, because I got ridiculed for it on one of the other streams the other day. But yes, will I be in talks with Andrea Coppolino? I don't know who that is. No, there is no link to the Patreon at the moment, but it will be when it actually gets finalised. It'll be patreon.com/iGoDave. Dead easy. But you don't need to worry. Spring Forward, that sounds okay. Spring Power, maybe. I kind of think it might be something a bit retro. It might refer back to a previous event. I really don't know. What are we expecting to see? I would guess we're expecting to see M2s, I hope. M2 MacBook Airs. I think we'll see the M1X iMacs. I think we'll see, not M1X, M1 Max. We've been calling it that for so long. M1 Max iMacs. I think we'll probably see M1X or M1 Max Mac Minis. Spring Power. Yeah. I don't even know if they'll refer to spring. I think they might just new beginnings or something like that. Who knows? But we'll see. But I'm really excited for it, regardless of what they decide to call it. I think it's going to be just a great event. I still kind of hoping we'll get something dropped before Christmas in a press release, because last year, was it beginning of December that we got the AirPods Max? Max equals power plus spring. Yeah, maybe. I just feel like if they had spring in it last year, maybe they'll have something different this year. They don't tend to use the same names too much. But yeah, I guess we're going to wrap the stream up there. Thank you all so much for watching. Got some family that have arrived while I wasn't available. Yeah, Len, that was the event names that we've been talking about, yeah. So cool. I hope you've enjoyed this format. It's a little bit different. But yeah. Dave, you should make your podcast with Saran Patreon only during the no news times, so we can still do it. Saran, if you're up for it, I'm happy to chat rubbish with you for people that are Patreons. Cool, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. We're gonna end the stream there. Thank you all, and we will see you on the. Len Adams says, "Wait." Go for it then. You have the floor. What are we waiting for, Len? I'm waiting for you, Len. I'm not gone anywhere. I'm waiting. I don't want to. You got a channel. Okay. The suspense is killing me. It's the Anfria Capellino. Okay. iCave stay. Yes. Let me have a look. Right, let's copy this and see what happens. I don't know what's happening right now, guys, any more than you do. We're going to see what happens. Are we waiting until Monday? Yeah, maybe. Andrea Capello? Andrea Capello. Fast talker, slow bread eater, and bread enthusiast. What? What's this? What? Hey, I'm looking for what? What are we trying to find? Len, I'm so confused. I don't know what's happening. I don't think I will be in talks with them. Oh, Brandon L, thank you very much for the monies. Appreciate it. Got another little super chat going on. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up. Len, hit me up in the comments if you've got something you want me to have a look at. I'll take a look. Cool. Thanks, everyone.